So, you've probably seen this term agentic AI floating around, right? It's everywhere. And look, it's easy to just dismiss it as another piece of tech jargon, but I'm telling you, this is different. It's a huge leap beyond the stuff we use every day, like ChatGPT or even automation tools like Zapier. The real question is, what's the big deal? What makes it so special? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to break this all down step by step. First up, we'll climb something called the automation ladder to see exactly where this tech lives. Then we've got a really simple analogy from a recipe to a head chef that'll make it all click. After that, we'll actually meet an AI developer, see what it can do, and then wrap things up by talking about this idea of a self-healing revolution. Sound good? Let's get into it. All right, first things first. To really wrap our heads around why agentic AI is such a big deal, we've got to look at the landscape of automation as a whole. And the best way to do that is to picture a ladder. Every rung we climb up takes us to a whole new level of power and, well, autonomy in how we get work done. So let me ask you this. Think about the automation you use right now. Is it truly autonomous? Or is it more like a robot just following a super strict, pre-programmed script? That's the problem, isn't it? Most of the systems we have are incredibly fragile. The moment something changes, even a tiny thing, the whole process just breaks, and then it's up to us, a human, to jump in and clean up the mess. Okay, so at the very bottom of our ladder, level 1, we have what I'd call manual AI. Think ChatGPT, think Claude. They're amazing, right? Unbelievably powerful for brainstorming or drafting an email, but it's all manual. You're the one doing all the work. You copy the text, you paste it into the chat, you write the prompt, you get the response, you copy that, and you paste it back where it needs to go. It's not automating anything. You are the automation. Now, let's climb up to level 2. This is rigid automation. This is the world of Zapier, Make, and tools like that. And this is where things get interesting, right? You can set up these if this then that recipes, like, hey, when an email with an invoice comes in, please save the attachment to my Dropbox. And it works like a charm. Until it doesn't. Because the second the subject line changes or the sender uses a PDF instead of a docx file, the whole thing just falls apart. It's powerful for sure, but man, is it brittle. Okay, moving on up to level 3. Now we're talking about AI agents. These are a big step up. They're way more flexible. Instead of a strict script, you give them a goal. You say, here are your tools, here's what I want to achieve, now go figure it out. They can handle different kinds of information, they can adapt a little, but there's a huge catch. The more complex the job you give them, the more bugs and errors pop up. And who becomes the official bug squasher? You do. Suddenly you have a new job, AI agent maintenance. And that brings us to the top. Level 4, Agentic agents. And this, my friends, is the game changer. This is a total paradigm shift. An agentic agent isn't just a worker bee doing a single task. No. It's the whole dang department. It's the project manager, it's the software developer, and it's the IT support guy all rolled into one. It doesn't just use the system, it builds the system. And, this is the most important part, it fixes itself when things go wrong. Okay, I know that's a lot to take in, and it might still feel a little up in the clouds. So let's bring it right back down to earth with a super simple analogy. Let's think about a kitchen. So that level 2 rigid automation we talked about, that's like a line cook who only knows how to follow a recipe word for word. If the recipe calls for basil and there's no basil, they just freeze. Production stops, the dish is a failure. Now the level 3 AI agent is more like an improvising cook. They see there's no basil and think, okay, I can use oregano instead. They save the dish for tonight, which is great, but the real problem, the fact that no one ordered basil, is still there for tomorrow. But then you have the level 4 agentic agent. This is the head chef. The head chef not only saves the dish with a substitute, they immediately go and update the master shopping list for the whole restaurant. They fix the entire process so that mistake never, ever happens again. See the difference? All right, that analogy helps, but theory is one thing. Let's see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to check out an example from Google's anti-gravity platform. They basically gave an agentic agent a task that you'd normally give to a junior developer, a simple web scraping job. Now look at this. The prompt they gave the AI, it's not code. It's just plain English. It's like you're talking to a new hire. Hey, I need you to build a web scraper. The goal is simple. Find me hairdressers in Bordeaux using Google Maps. Then, go to their websites, find a contact email, and stick it all in a CSV file for me. Oh, and you can stop once you've got 2 good emails. That's it. That's the entire instruction. And after that, the human just walks away. Seriously. No coding, No dragging and dropping boxes in a workflow builder, no babysitting. The agent takes that simple request and just gets to work, figuring out everything it needs to do to get the job done. And voila! This is what it came back with. It did the whole thing. It went to Google Maps, it found the businesses, it clicked through to their websites, it scoured the pages to find an email address, and it put everything into a nice, clean spreadsheet, just like it was asked. A pretty complex task with multiple steps, done completely autonomously. But look, the really mind-blowing part isn't just that it finished the task. It's the how that matters. This points to something so much bigger than just better automation. This is what we're calling the self-healing revolution. So what is a self-healing system? Well, think back to our head chef. It's a system that doesn't just slap a Band-Aid on a problem and call it a day. It digs down to the root cause and fixes the process so the problem can't happen again. Let's say a website's design changes. A normal web scraper would just break, and you'd get an error message. An agentic agent, though, well, in theory, it could see the change, rewrite its own scraping code on the fly, and just keep on working. No human needed. And this fundamentally changes our job description when it comes to technology. For years, our role has been tool user. We had to build the workflows, operate the software, and when it inevitably broke, we were the ones who had to fix it. But now, our role is shifting to systems manager. We don't mess with the nuts and bolts anymore. We just set the high-level goal. The agent, it does the rest. It builds, it runs, and crucially, it maintains the whole system for us. Which leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? For pretty much my entire life, the goal in tech has been to build better and better tools. But what happens when the AI can build and fix its own tools? What does that free us up to do? It means we can finally stop focusing on the how and start focusing on the much bigger, much more interesting what. So, what will we build next?